Hey guys, welcome back to Fairy's Corner. It's Emily here, and today I'm going to be reading books with POC rep in them. Just in case you don't know what POC means, it means person of color. So I'm going to be reading a book that either has an author that's a person of color or a character, like a main character that is a person of color. I did this video last year around Christmas time, and you guys seemed to really enjoy it. I really loved making that video, so I thought I would do it again. So let's get on to the books. But before we do, please subscribe, comment down below, and like this video. All of my social links are down in the description box below, as well as my Amazon wishlist if you would like to gift me a book. Now let's get on to the video. The first book that I want to read in this vlog is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. This is a Little Mermaid retelling, and it follows Simi, and basically she collects souls from the ones that die in the sea, but one day she goes up to a boy and he is not dead. So she decides to save him, but it kind of goes against like her contract that she has, and a punishment awaits for those who do that. And so she has to go to the creator, the supreme creator, to make amends, but all is not what it seems. There's a guy that knows way more than he should, and also one person in particular is trying to stop her. So I'm very excited about this book. I think it'll be really good. I have high expectations. My mom got me this book, so I hope it's really good. The next book that I want to read is A Burning, and this follows a Muslim girl in the Indian slums, and she's determined to move up in life, but she is soon accused of executing a terrorist attack on a train because of a careless comment that was posted on Facebook. And then it follows two other perspectives: P.T. Sir, who is an opportunistic gym teacher who starts to have like a political awakening, and he kind of like has like a downturn or something. And then it follows a girl named Lovely who has the alibi for the main Muslim girl that got accused, but it could kind of lead to her downfall as well. So there's a lot going on here. Apparently it's amazing book, so hopefully I'll enjoy it. Now the last book that I want to read in this reading vlog is Pride by Ibi Zoboi. I've read this before, but I honestly don't remember anything about this book whatsoever. I remember I gave it 3 stars, but I also tabbed it, but I don't remember fully what went on in this book. I know it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling, and it follows a girl named Zuri Benitez, and she basically doesn't like that a really rich family has moved in across the street, and then a romance forms. I think it'll be really cute. Hopefully I give it a higher rating, but I just want to see if I like it as much as I did last time. So yes, those are all the books that I want to read in this reading vlog. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that I like all of these, and let's get on into it. Okay guys, I am 100 pages into Skin of the Sea, and it's not the vibe. It's really not the vibe right now. It's going very fast, I will say that. And that is both a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it's only a 300-page fantasy book, so that in and of itself is very concerning. But I feel like the author is writing and she's telling us everything that the character is feeling and what they're doing instead of having the main character show us herself. I feel like how she writes sets up the different plot points and makes them very convenient and one after the other, so it's like we don't have any time to breathe. We also don't really understand what's going on. Like, it just needs to be stretched out and take your time to show us this new world. Like, we don't really even know like who any of her friends are, like what's going on, how, like, why does she love this person so much. Like, it's just really weird and fast and just not okay. The romance I am not digging. Like, one moment he hates her and the next they're touching legs. Like, oh my gosh, so cute. Like, no, I feel like it's all happening too fast and it's not believable in any sense or shape or form. I do think that the representation is good. I really like that in the front it says that it is taken off of 15th century history, and in the back there is a space for further reading, and it talks about the slave trade, because apparently what they are mermaids that collect souls that from the people that are thrown off ships and die in the ocean, but the person that she finds is alive, and so you're like, oh my gosh, he was a slave from the slave trade. And so there's different articles that she posts about Africa and the transatlantic slave trade. I can't speak today. And also setting the stage for slavery in North America. Just a lot of further reading, which is, you can see that she has done her research on this, which I really love, because it also switches back and forth between memories from her past before she was a mermaid, because she was made into a mermaid, to now, and you can kind of see how the slave trade kind of kind of mixes it. But overall, like, the idea is good and the representation is there, but the execution is so horrible. I will update you guys later. I will try to update you guys around the 200 mark, but if I am not vibing with it, I'm just gonna update you guys when I'm done. 200 pages into this book and it is not getting any better. I'm feeling a little soft towards the romance, but not at all. They don't speak. They added in more characters. I feel like with all the attacks that they've gotten recently, one after the other, there's no action whatsoever. And that is just frustrating. There's literally 100 pages left of the book. So what's gonna happen? Like, the ending's just gonna happen right now? Because I feel like they're still in the middle of their journey. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But okay, it's fine. I'll update you guys when I finish this book. I'm probably gonna give this book a 2 stars. Hey guys, so I finished Skin of the Sea, and honestly my thoughts remain the same. I think the concept of this book was really good, and I think that the idea of it being based off of the slave trade was brilliant. But I don't think the execution of it was well done. I think this book needed to be significantly longer for us to understand the world and to feel something for these characters. I felt no attachment to any of these characters. There was a death in this book, and I was like, ooh, I probably should have been sad about that. Me being a romance person, I kind of shipped them. I did ship the romance in this book, but overall, the romance was kind of just lackluster, and the fantasy overall was lackluster as well. Nicola Yoon, which my mom was just raving about how Nicola Yoon commented on this book, she said, Skin of the Sea is one of the most epic and original fantasies I've read. Simi's story will stay with me for a long time to come, and I'm like, Nicola Yoon, honey, we need to talk. Where are you getting this from? Like, I mean, I guess you do you, but Nicola Yoon, honey, what are you saying? And I feel so bad because my mom got me this book for Christmas and she was so excited. So mom, if you're watching this, it wasn't you. I read the synopsis, totally 100% something I would absolutely enjoy and love. It was the author. The author did us dirty. So if you're ever looking at a book and thinking that I would like it, buy it for me, mom, because come on, I will love it. I promise you. It's just the author did us dirty. Overall, I'm giving this a 2 stars. I think if you already have gone into fantasy, like that's just your genre, don't read this book. But if you are a young adult, like middle school going into high school, and you're getting into fantasy, I think you'll enjoy this novel. I think it'll be a good fit for you, but overall, it just wasn't a good fit for me. Moving on from a 2-star book to a burning, a book that I'm absolutely enjoying. I'm 130 pages, about halfway through, and I could not stop reading this book. The writing is just fitting me so well. I'm loving to learn about Hyvan's life. Please tell me if I'm saying her name right. Like, I don't want to be saying it wrong, so like just let me know in the comments if I'm saying her name right. But I'm loving her story, and not only her story leading up to the crime, but just her story growing up in the slums. It's just so cool to learn more about her and be in her headspace. P.T. Sir, the author wants to make him an unlikable main character, and she is doing her job. Like, I just want to punch this guy in the face. Like, I hate ignorant people like this. Moving on, though, to Lovely, a trans woman, just her story and her friend story, it got me in my feels. I love Lovely's story, and I just like the combination of the 3 main characters. I don't know, overall though, I'm giving it, like, I'm leaning towards a 4-star than a 5-star. Maybe the ending will complete that for me and make it cross over to a 5, but so far it's in the 4 category. I finished A Burning, and my mind is blown. The ending has me just shook. Like, how I just finished it, so these are fresh thoughts right now. Okay, is it reality? Yes. Is it still super unfair? 100%. Do I want to kill P.T. Sir with a bat? Have I thought about it? Yes, 100%. He's, oh my gosh, having an author like write a person that is so unlikable that I genuinely hate this person. His ignorance is just genuinely mind-blowing. Jivan's story, by the way, yes, I did look it up. Look. Jivan. I didn't want to be ignorant like P.T. Sir. I wanted to be respectful to this story and to her name. Me being Hispanic, I wanted to say J as an H, so Hivan. Like, no, Emily. Anyway, Jivan and her story, like, it was just so beautiful, and I love how true she stayed to herself and positive she stayed, especially in really, really dark times. It was just so sad. Like, I love this book so, so much. I really like the representation that this book brings, but also the awareness that it brings about the government, not just Indian government, but like the whole entire world and how they treat minorities, not just Muslims, but especially Muslims in this book, and especially if they need somebody to blame. They kind of cast it on minorities and Muslims as it's just frustrating, but we need that awareness because it's so, so true. The one thing I didn't like about this book, though, I do love the individual plot lines, but I feel like although they somewhat connect, I wanted them to connect a little bit more. So overall, I'm giving this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I truly think it's a staple and you need to read it. Like, pick it up if you seem interested by it. But I'm about to start Pride by Ibby Zoboy. I'm very excited to start this book, and it's going to be a little bit fluffy. It's a fluffy contemporary. So hopefully my mind just stops being broken into a million pieces by a burning. Okay, guys, I'm on my way to go get a COVID test. Not because I think I have COVID, but because I'm going back to college soon. Just gotta make sure. But I read 100 pages of Pride, and I am loving this book so, so, so much. It is set in Bushwick, which is in Brooklyn, and when my family moved from Puerto Rico, they went to New York, and they've been all over the place. Like, my brother's father, my mom's ex-husband, he lived in Bushwick, and then they lived together in Queens. Like, it's just fun because I know of it. Like, whenever I watch In the Heights, I'm like, there's a familiarity that I love about it. But I haven't been there. I haven't been to Bushwick. But I don't know. Anyway, I really like the representation. I love like hearing them speak Spanish because of course I'm Hispanic, so I'm like, this is like my whole life. Like, their landlord's Puerto Rican, they're Dominican. Like, it's just so familiar to me, and I love that feeling so, so, so much. But I'm enjoying it. It's really young. Like, going from A Burning to this book, like, it makes sense to me. Like, I just needed this like fresh, young, just like, you know, a girl being petty to a guy across the street. Like, I needed that, and I love it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to continue reading. Hi. It's loud. I've never. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ow. Okay, look, I'm a girl from Miami, Florida, like, never seen snow in her life. When I moved to South Carolina, like, I saw one snowfall, but it never stuck to the ground. I'm living my best. Like, who allowed snow? You know, this is crazy. Okay, on a bookish note though, I'm 200 pages into Pride, and I am really enjoying it. It is a little insta-lovey though, so kind of not the vibe, but this is the vibe, and I kind of want to read outside, although my hands are freezing. I know my coat isn't like zipped up, but like literally my hands are the only thing freezing. This is crazy. So I get it. If you're from the north, like, snow? Who cares? I know, who cares? But I care, and I'm very excited about it, so be excited with me. Hey guys, so I finished Pride, and I'm giving this book a 4 stars. The first time I read it, I gave it a 3 stars, but honestly, I think that's because I was focusing solely on the romance, and this time I looked at it in a different light. I do think that the romance, the switch from hate to love, was very insta-lovey. Like, oh my gosh, it was very insta-lovey, but still super cute. Like, it's just a YA young, you know, contemporary novel. But the main point of this book is to talk about gentrification. Me growing up in Miami, Florida, like, I see a neighborhood turned into a tourist attraction every single day. Specifically, like, Wynwood, which was a place where a lot of poor people lived, and then there was graffiti, and then more graffiti, and then fancy restaurants, and then now people go and walk, tourists specifically go and walk on the side and they take pictures of the graffiti, and the amount of homeless people there is insane. I don't think I've ever seen more homeless people than in Wynwood. And when I was growing up, I was always like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. But you know, you don't know what's going on inside their head until you read this book, because she loves her home. She loves her community. She grew up in this one house, and especially with the Latinx community, like that's our culture. We love having a big family. We talk with everybody on the block. We have block parties, and that's just a part of our culture and a part of how we live our life. And so to not only leave the house that you've been in for years and leave all the memories, but you're also leaving your whole family behind. It's hard. It really is. And so you see all of her emotions and her feelings, and especially because that's why she's upset that the rich people are moving in next door, since this is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, because it's like making the rent go up in her neighborhood, but the prices of their job that they're paying, or they're getting paid, the price that they're getting paid is the same. And so it's just really cool to see her emotions about how everything around her is changing and how she just wants to stay in this home that she's loved for years. But also, like, let me not say that it's too super heavy, because again, it's still a fluffy YA contemporary romance, and it has such a good balance that I love. There's also some poetry in here because she really likes slam poetry, and I love that aspect of this book. I think it's done really, really well, especially the Latinx representation. I think that it's done so well in this book. She's Dominican Haitian, so overall really, really good. I'm not telling you that it's like a 5 out of 5 star read to pick it up, like that you're gonna absolutely love it, but if you know that you're going in for that insta lovey, like fluffy YA, and you want to learn about gentrification, this is a good book to pick up. Okay guys, so this is the end of the video, and those were all of the books with POC rep in them. I really enjoyed this reading vlog. Even though I didn't really love the first book, I still had fun reading all 3 of these books. So yeah, definitely let me know if you want to see this type of video more. I think I'm gonna make it like a yearly tradition of mine. But yeah, please subscribe, comment down below, do whatever you want to do, and goodbye.